welcome back to my channel. This is Christina at Homeschool and Grace, and today is another weekly update. Yay for week 20. So I'm finally getting back on track. I'm so happy about that. And if you noticed, I got a haircut. It was time. So I've mentioned before, you know, I got the vid, I got the sickness like almost a year ago now, and I lost a ton of hair. I guess that's part of it. And so I have new growth coming, but my hair got so thin, it was just driving me crazy. So I had a girlfriend over and I was like, please cut my hair. And she cut it. So there you go. It's short now. So hopefully this like falling out of hair will stop. It's annoying. So anyways, let's get on to homeschooling. So this is technically here, it is spring break. And so I actually had planned to keep doing a little bit of school. And then I realized like, we're just going to take spring break. So we have been taking spring break and it's been delightful. Today was 70 degrees here. It was amazing because it was raining in the morning and I thought it is never going to get sunny. And I remember we had to leave the house and it was 49 degrees and I thought it is not going to get to 70 today, but sure enough it did, and I'm in a t-shirt because I got so hot. So there you go. Wonderful day. Okay, so let's move on to the actual curriculum. So if you're new here, I use My Father's World curriculum and I do these little weekly updates where I share what we did for the week. So I'm teaching my 5 children. I'm doing 6th grade, 3rd grade, 1st grade, pre-K, and preschool. So let's start out with my 5th and my 3rd grader are doing Exploration to 1850. And we were on week 20. So this was mainly about the Revolutionary War. And so exciting stuff. So I'm going to start out, I go from top and down. So we're just going to do that. Okay, so we're still working through James very slowly, and I got really behind on actually reviewing reading past James 1. Like we would just practice James 1 and that was it. And then, but it would keep going through James 2 and James 3 and I had to kind of pause. And so I finally was like, we need to pick that back up. So we just picked up where we were at and started reading through James 3. So we've been doing that. And it's been good to have like more discussions on it. Okay, we also read through In God We Trust. We read about John Witherspoon, John Muhlenberg, and John Jay. Lots of Johns. And so we are still enjoying this book. It's good, kind of showing the Christian side of these men, or their, you know, I guess spiritual side, I guess, if you want to say that. Okay, we're still not doing spelling, but we are doing handwriting practice for cursive. So they're using the, I don't think I have it up here right now. They're using the Zahner Blosser handwriting books that we got through My Father's World. English, we're still working through language lessons for today. So this was for my 3rd grader. So this week was kind of easy for her. She just had a poem to memorize. I don't necessarily make them memorize it. They do have to copy it. And so she did her copy work for the poem that was in there. For my 6th grader, she also had a poem. So I have noticed kind of like if one has a poem, they both have a poem, or if one has a picture study, the other has a picture study, they kind of seem to line up that way, which kind of makes it nice to have like similarities throughout the week. She also learned about nouns and possessive nouns, and we went a lot into that, into the different kinds of nouns, the proper and the common, and the possessive nouns. So that's why I really like these. Like I feel like it gives a lot of, they learn a lot, but in a short amount of time. So it doesn't feel like we're like dragging out this long lesson. We also didn't get to writing skills because she had a big assignment due with the co-op that we're part of. A writing assignment. It ended up having to be 2 to 3 pages. And so that was her writing assignment for the week, not this. Okay, so moving on to history. This is going to be a quicker video. I'm kind of whizzing through everything. So we used, gotta get all my books. I'm missing one. Okay, I gotta go grab a book. Okay. So we did Exploring American History on George Washington. And Benedict Arnold we read about in George Washington's world, along with the American Revolution. And let's see what else. There was a lot in George Washington's world. I actually ended up skipping a little bit because it's just, I have found that we're just not getting through this one like I had hoped. So that's been kind of a bummer. Like, it's not that we can't do it, it's just that it's not keeping our interest like I had hoped. So we are doing, I forgot another book. Okay. Story of the World. This one we're really liking. And I did end up buying, ooh, this is heavy, the Story of the World activity book. We don't necessarily do the activities in it. I did print out or make copies of a couple of the pictures, but they're just not lately into coloring like they were. And so what I do like is that it has questions after we read the chapter. That helps to like remember what the chapter was about at the end so that we can discuss more, and then I can go through it more throughout the day or at dinner time. And so I'm liking that part. If anything, I just get the questions from it. There was an activity to do a silhouette, which I really wanted to do, but we just didn't get around to it. And I think that was it for history. Okay, so moving on to science. Well, actually, I have one more for history. So for my third grader, we finished up the 4th of July story. And so I just read this aloud to them during school, and I really like this one. The art's really neat in it. So it's just a fun one to add in. Let's see what else. Okay, now on to science. Okay, so we're working through Exploring Creation with Botany, and they are enjoying this one. And they learned about flower pollination, and I think I shared this on my last one, but we were supposed to actually like pollinate a plant, but I don't have any right now that are like pollinators in that way with the fruit on the end. And so we've done that in the past just as we were gardening. Like we had a squash plant, and so I showed them how to pollinate it, so at least they got that idea. We also learned about butterflies and wind pollination, and we had the option of making a butterfly garden, but we did not do that. And then we didn't get to God in the History of Art or our music, unfortunately, but we did start Mary Jones and her Bible, and I've been really enjoying that one as well as them. I've switched it to be, we're reading it in the morning before we start all the rest of our school, and so that's been kind of a fun change. We'll eat breakfast, and then I'll read aloud, and then we'll go to our morning routine, which is like math and language lessons. That's how we kind of structure our day. That was everything for Exploration to 1850. Okay, moving on to Learning God's Story. Okay, she's still working through learning her books of the Bible, and we're marking them off as we go. And this was her verse that she was working on. Just practicing letters and, you know, placement. She still kind of struggles to get it under that, we call it the belt line, that middle line. But I think she's doing pretty good for first grade. Okay. My girls have really been into clay modeling, and I've got clay all over my house. I feel like it's stuck to everything. It was stuck to her Bible reader. Okay, so she also was, for Bible, learning about Moses and the burning bush. So I let her, when I read to her from the teacher's manual, she gets to color in the student book, in her Bible reader, not the student book. We also learned about God's promise to free Israel and the 10 plagues. And then the Passover, and we talked about Pharaoh and all that. So we've still been working on our timeline, and it's up here. If you can see just the bottom of it. But we've been adding it to our whiteboard instead of doing it in a book this year. Okay, so the reading section, if you remember, I have paused on it because it was becoming too advanced for her. So I've gone back to the kindergarten curriculum. And thank you to everyone who gave me tips for using All About Reading again or something like that. Right now this is working, so I'm going to stick with this, but I decide to try it again. I'll let you all know because it's I haven't had any that have like picked up reading super quick. It's always been a little bit of a process. So I've learned I've had to be patient. Okay. So like I've said in the past, how I structure her reading lessons is I go through the yellow portion in the kindergarten manual. And so I pick the days or the weeks that we're going to teach on. So I did, for example, we only got 3 days. Okay, so we did 23 to 25. And so I'd go down here to 23, 24, 25, and I'd look at what letters we're using. And I'd make, she wrote it out this time, but we'd make out our blend ladder and then use the foam letters to practice that. And then to practice the blending. And so she'd go all the way down through the letters, and then I'd have her, I'm now having her go back up through them. So kind of change the structure of it. And in the beginning, she couldn't go backwards, but now she's able to go backwards and blend the letters. Then we do the practice. Again, we do 23, 24, 25. And the words that they have to practice, she would use her blend ladder, and then I'd add the first letter, and she would, you know, say ba, and then I'd give her the last one, bat, bat. So that's how we're practicing blending still. And then lastly, for the last day of the blend ladder, for 23, 24, 25, she would take the words. I would, you know, have her, instead of building the words on the blend ladder, I'm having her write them in a notebook. And so it's helping her with spelling and making the, I'll say, like, what's the first sound you hear in the word jam? And so she'd, you know, say j, and she'd write the j and all that. So that's been helping, and I'm seeing improvement, so it's all very exciting. Okay, so we're reading still through these little books, and then I did find a couple, but they're downstairs, of the My Father's World little stories from kindergarten, so she's been reading through those. It's been really exciting for her. And then my plan is, so for next year, we'll just pick up the first grade for the reading practice again, and start like week 1, and she'll work through that, and so she will join the family cycle with my older girls, but for her own reading lessons or language arts time, we'll be practicing reading with the first grade. So, and that's what it also says in the teacher's manual, like you can hold off a year and just wait and do other practice. I think it says it back here somewhere. Yeah, so if my child can't keep up with the phonics, so it says the last part is put the first grade program away for a few months. Your student may just need time to physically mature, and that may be where we're at. So she also had, you know, well, I'm not even going to go into that. Okay, so that's where we're at right now, and that's our plan for reading. Okay, we've been doing the art cards, so this one I really like, and I like that I'm able to post them now, so I've been hanging them up. And so we also, the older girls doing the God and the History of Art, they come with a bunch of these little art cards. So we put them all over the room. I'll look at the pictures and, you know, kind of just think and look, and it's really been fun. Okay, so for science, we're to now science with water, and we haven't done as much with the science with water as we were doing with the, what was it called? Things Outdoors. We were doing a lot more with Things Outdoors, but we're just kind of reading through the lesson for science with water, and we haven't been doing the experiments. As you can tell, I'm in a season of not many experiments. That's kind of where I'm at right now. But that's okay. All right, I think that was it for, let me get my book back out. I feel like I'm super scattered today. Okay, that was for learning God's story. Okay, moving on. Voyage of Discovery. This is for my pre-K-er. Okay, we're week 20. So this always starts out with like a helping together, which is, this week was empty silverware from dishwasher. She already knows how to do that, so we haven't like done a specific lesson in that. All my girls work together at times to unload the dishwasher. I mainly do it, but there's times where if I don't get to it in the morning, they all have to work together and get it unloaded, or I pick a couple that have to do it. So that's what we've been doing there. My pile is like flipped, and so I have to keep reaching everything on the bottom. Okay, I wanted to show this. This is a little mini DVD player I've been using for the music. So the Hide 'Em in Their Heart CD, it's in there right now. Because our computer hasn't been working, but this way I can set it like on their desk. Who's ever has music at that time, I can just have it be right at their desk, which they kind of like, instead of like at the computer. Like. Okay, so I just want to show that. So the verse was, I will lie down and sleep in peace. You alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. And I just love the Hide 'Em in Their Heart CDs. I just think they're great to get those verses in their little heads. Okay, again, what I need's at the bottom. Okay, so we're still working through the preschooler's Bible. She learned about Job and Daniel and Jonah. And so for Job, she's been using her little prayer basket, and we just use a little card box. And so she'll pick a card from it and we'll pray for that person. We made lion masks. She had a lot of fun with that, and I used this to help her draw the face of her lion mask. So this is I Can Draw Animals by Esborn, but so it has a really simple lion face. So I just cut out paper for the lion mask, and then she was able to draw on the little face. We didn't cut out eyes or anything. So that kind of made it easier for her to see how to make it easily. Okay, I think that was it for Bible. We were supposed to make a big Jonah fish, but we didn't do that. Okay, so that was it for Bible. Okay, so we're still working through, so for her ABCs, again, it's on the bottom. So she did her little N's, and this was the big N we used, and we used this to trace the Play-Doh on. We also, so the day that we're supposed to have a snack, that's represented by the letter, we just read from this. We just look for the letter we're on. Let's see. Okay, so N was for nectarine, so we use that. So this is Eating the Alphabet, Fruits and Vegetables from A to Z. This is by Lois Alert? I don't know. I'll link it below if you're interested. Okay, what else? So someone asked about my little preschooler alphabet book, and so I wanted to share with you what I had made in this too. So we've been using this. Okay, so ones I made, I guess I had watercolored them. So I did an astronaut and an angel for A. I don't think I'll go all the way to N, but I'll show you some of them. I made a bear, a caterpillar, okay, a circle, and apparently I made a face on it. Maybe it was supposed to be me, because my name starts with C. D, I made a dinosaur. I don't have an E. I don't know what happened. Oh no, you know what? I put it in the envelope. We used an envelope. It was an elephant. Let's skip a few. I guess I made a butterfly insect. What else? K was a kite. L was a lion. Apparently I just made my ends. We didn't do anything. Okay, so that was that. So for her N, we just taped a nickel on. It wasn't very fancy. I thought about like drawing a nest or printing out one, but we didn't. But she made her ends on the back. So there you go. And I don't think... Oh, M was Little Mouse. So there you go. That's my little alphabet book from preschool that's getting reused. It's pretty cool. Moving on. Okay, so she was learning about triangles, which she already knew the shape of the triangle. But we did do, I should say everyone did. They were all crafting with spaghetti and It says not to use mini marshmallows, but it's all I had, so she used the mini marshmallows. She made 7 of these. All different sizes, and apparently they're a family. She's like, this is the mommy and the baby, and there's a daddy one, and a sister one, and a brother one, and a lot of them. So she made a bunch of these. And she also made a square one that she's using as a frame, and they're all hanging around her desk. It's really cute. So she had a lot of fun with that. So for books we read... So we've been reading Big Thoughts for Little People. This is just once a week, so it's a letter of the week. So we read about letter N, which was... N is for being nice. So we read that. For Richard's Scaries, what do people do all day? She learned about mommies. What mother's work is never done. And I just love this story. It's with the pigs. And she just loves this book. There's so much to look at. And just very, I guess, traditional. Mommy does all the cleaning and gets the groceries and deals with the vacuum people that come to the door. I don't know if that still happens. Doing the wash, making the dinner, giving the baths, all the things. So it was just a super fun story to read. We also did Big Book of Things to Spot. So we did the ocean. Now I've had kids in the past who loved this book. Like it was their favorite one to pull out. She could kind of take it or leave it. I think she gets frustrated having to search for everything. She's like, I don't want to find them all. So, but we still do it. Okay, I was going to share her favorite game right now. Her favorite game right now with these things, the educational toys, is we roll a dice and then you get to take however many of the little kids. And so you're going back and forth, and so whoever has the most wins. It's a really simple little game, but she really enjoys it. So that's been a fun one. Okay, I think that's all. So Voyage of Discovery. One last one. Okay. All aboard the animal train. So this is actually week 12. This was the cat unit, the kitty cats. And we finished up this unit. So we'll be moving on to dogs next? No, lions. Lions will be next. Okay, so we made the little hand puppets. And they have a lot of fun with these. And then we actually watched little like nursery rhymes for each of them. So like 5 little ducks. We watched a little video, and then Little Bunny Foo Foo, and the kittens, and the 3 little mittens. What am I trying to say? I think it was Goldilocks and the 3 bears. We watched a little ditty on that. So that was fun. She also did, for Bible, I'm going to go through each day. I was getting confused. What am I trying to convey? Okay, so the first day we did the puppets, and we sang our Hey Diddle Diddle song and read from the First Virtues book. Then she did a musical color walk on the color purple, and I'm not sure where the pieces are, but we would play the music, and then we'd pause it, and then I'd ask for either a color or a shape, and she'd bring it, so it helps to remember the names of shapes and colors. And then we read through Best Little Word Book Ever. For Wednesday's always Bible Day, so they have kind of like a lesson that ties into the Bible lesson, more of a tangible, like sharing. That's what the story was about, so you share something. So there was that, and then we sang, Oh, Be Careful Little Eyes, and then she learned about a blind man named Bartimaeus from in the preschooler's Bible. We read that story, and then I always like to add in a coloring page if we have one. So we did a coloring page from in here, but I didn't have necessarily Bartimaeus. There is the story of Jesus healing a blind man. I don't think it's Bartimaeus. I think it was a different one. But anyway, we colored that from it. Well, she painted it from in here. We also did her greeting card, which we haven't mailed yet, but she did paint it. Then we read from in here. And this is kind of long. It doesn't, sometimes I have to kind of read quickly because she likes to turn the pages. And so I'm like, wait, I haven't finished. So I'll just kind of read as much as I can and then she'll turn the page. Okay, and then the last day was to make Jell-O. We didn't do that, but we read the Three Little Kitten poem and she played the little game I showed last week. I'll show you one more time. So I have a little, it's like a little container, oops, that I keep little pom-poms in, and she's got the three little kittens, and then we hide the mittens in here, and she has to find them and match them with the right little kittens. So that's been fun for her. She likes that one. So, whew, I think that was everything. That was a lot. Okay. So all aboard the animal train. There you go. So that was week 20. I hope this video was helpful for you. Don't forget to go check out, I have a whole playlist of each year that I've shared so far with our curriculum. If you're looking at a specific family cycle or specific curriculum, I also try and put the timestamps. So like if you're looking for just, you know, first grade, you can see how we're teaching first grade. And I've been sharing on YouTube 3 years now. I think it's 3 years. So I've taught first grade and shared, so you can see how that student did with first grade, and then now with my next student, and then, you know, we'll see how my next ones go. So it's fun to see how each child is so different in their learning, but they, you know, eventually they progress. So it's just really cool to see. I probably won't have a weekly update next week because we took spring break off. So I will share something else. Let me know down below, if you're still watching, something you'd like to learn about, or something that you know, how we do something, so I can share that with you guys. Alrighty. I am so hot. I gotta get out of this room. I've got lights on me. It's too hot. So thank you so much for stopping by today. If you like this video, here are some others to go and check out, and I hope to see you at the next video. Alright, thanks. Bye-bye.